And I have to say, if we're back in, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years time looking at this and nothing's changed, then it may well be time to say, look, let's have a police service that is working in different parts of London and isn't all under one umbrella.
Well, then, as a prominent politician with a close eye on this, how radical should the solutions, the cure, be? The idea of breaking up the Metropolitan Police, the idea of disbanding the Metropolitan Police, these have all been mentioned. Are they in your mind?
So I don't think disbanding is in my mind, but I think it is absolutely a very feasible option to consider breaking it up. Is the Met just too large? And should it be broken up into smaller component parts? I think what I want to see from Mark Rowley, working hand in hand with the Mayor, with the Home Secretary, with the Minister for Policing, is an action plan that is very, very swift. This cannot be something that is allowed to continue for years. We need to see real results. Ideally, I think we should see Baroness Casey brought back in 12 months' time to see what has changed, to have some sort of benchmarking exercise, to say, well, this is better, this is improved, this hasn't gone far enough. And I think it is absolutely imperative that this is done swiftly. And I have to say, if we're back in, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years' time looking at this and nothing's changed, then it may well be time to say, look, let's have a police service that is working in different parts of London and isn't all under one umbrella.
Oh, interesting thought. Last question then. I mean, you've made the point that not all officers are abusers, racists, misogynists. There is a real worry now, do you share it, that this hemorrhage of trust is now going to accelerate to the point that it really damages policing, and in the end, all of us, especially women, are less safe?
Look, there was some polling done that indicated that 50% of the capital's women do not have confidence in the police, and that was before this report dropped. So there is a massive job to be done to rebuild confidence and trust. I hope Mark Rowley is the right person to do that. I think that has to be done in conjunction with his deputy, Lynn Owens. It has to be done with the Home Secretary and the Mayor. This is going to be a joint effort to restore women's trust in the police. But I think it can be done. And I think at the end of the day, the question posed, if I was assaulted on London streets, would I report it to the police? Absolutely. And that is the message that I would give to every other woman out there. We have to keep reporting. We have to come forward. And actually, that will be proof of whether the Met has changed. If women reporting crime over the course of the next 12 months say that they have noticed the difference, that they were listened to, that they were supported. And I also want to see that message coming from female officers, from officers from different ethnic backgrounds, and from LGBT officers as well.
Important point. Caroline Nokes, Conservative Chair of the Women and Equalities Committee at West.
Hello, John.
What are your thoughts on this report, Caroline?
Well, it's a devastating and damning indictment of the culture in the Metropolitan Police Service. It clearly is a very thorough report, and I think all credit and thanks have to go to Baroness Louise Casey for the enormous amount of work that she has put in. But in addition to that, many thanks to those brave officers who contributed to her evidence gathering, who have now spoken out about the horrendous experiences they had faced within their own police service.
Yes.
And this, I have to say, is an opportunity that the Met now must seize. It isn't an opportunity that it would be nice for them to take. They have to take it to draw a line under the past, to work out how they're going to root out those officers who have contributed to this culture, and also to foster and encourage and inspire those good officers who are absolutely as appalled by this as the rest of us are.
Yeah, and it's worth making that point. Surely most officers are as appalled as anyone else would be, but these problems are deep, deep rooted. And how confident can you be, Caroline, that the lessons will be learned? It's way over 20 years now since the murder of Stephen Lawrence and the publication of the Macpherson report, which was traumatic for policing.
It was indeed traumatic, and there have been numerous reports since. And we can think of the work that David Lammy from this place did on the Metropolitan Police and numerous other ones. So look, this can't be an opportunity for the Met to say, we will learn. We have to see real action, and we have to see it quickly. And overturning decades of culture is incredibly difficult. It will be hard for the Met to make the sort of change that they absolutely have to do. And there can be no backsliding, there can be no kicking this into the long grass.
Yes.
We have to make sure that misogyny, that homophobia, that racism is stamped out of policing.
Yeah, I mean, the commissioner, he refused to accept that his force was institutionally racist, homophobic, misogynist. What do you make of that? Is that about semantics, or does it go deeper than that?
Well, I think it is about a commissioner who is anxious about what he has been confronted with. But I think it would have been a better move to accept what Baroness Casey has reported, to say that he is going to implement reforms quickly, and he has said that he's going to implement reforms. Now, that has to be a tacit acknowledgement that he agrees with what she has found.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been much braver of him to say, yeah, we have a serious, significant problem here, but here are the steps that we're going to take to start rooting out these problems, to make sure that the Met has an inclusive culture that isn't going to leave female officers. As one excerpt from the report highlighted,
Yeah.
a female officer said she would have been better off suffering in silence. Now, look, that's should be our flagship gold standard police service, where female officers feel that they cannot report incidents, that they will be discriminated against if they have the courage to come forward. Now, that cannot continue. Absolutely cannot continue.
Well, I'm John Pienaar, and if you found that interesting, we are here each day, Monday to Thursday, 5 o'clock till 7 o'clock on Drive, and from 7 till 8, Pienaar and Friends, where we discuss the big stories of the day each day on Times Radio.